District Attorney Sandra Doorley, Sheriff Todd Baxter, taxpayers subsidized employees of the District Attorney's Office and Sheriff's Office. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime. This is the instrument called Freedom of Information Law. Don't be confused. Because not a single employee at the District Attorney's Office and Sheriff's Office understands the law. And I'm evidence of it. All you have to do is look at every single YouTube I've made. I have never committed a crime. That's why your assistant district attorney, party switching Sandra Doorley, didn't talk in Penfield Town Court. First before 70-year-old John P. Lomenzo Jr. and next before bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler. I am never going into Penfield Town Court. Do you understand me, bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler? I don't know what you're sending to 26 Sanders Farm Drive. But what you're trying to do right now is to deliver me to jail. You one person. So fuck you, bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler. I want to be absolutely clear what I'm telling you. Given your age and your enfeeblement, you have no idea what is going on up there. You are in total confusion in that little room down the hall from Penfield Public Library. Do you know you're in a library, you bald-headed wig-wearing extremist? Does that occur to you that you're inside a library as one person without a jury, without a prosecutor, and you're delivering innocent people to jail? Do you know you're doing this to innocent Americans, you bald-headed wig-wearing extremist and sociopath? I will never come into Penfield Town Court. They will have to do what they did the last time. They'll have to physically attack me outside the pharmacy entrance to Wegmans. That's what happened to me. Put me in handcuffs and drag me into Penfield Town Court. And that's exactly what happened to me. And you were called and told to be in Penfield Town Court to pronounce me guilty without asking me any questions, and then I'm in Livingston County Jail. How do you explain to the Department of Justice that I was in Livingston County Jail? Did you make that decision? Did Todd Baxter make that decision? Did somebody in the District Attorney's Office make that decision? You bald-headed, wig-wearing fanatic? I hope you're in eternal pain because of the death of Eric Metzler. If any human being in the United States of America deserves to be a widow, it's you, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. I hope that just drove you up the wall, the widow Metzler. How can you be objective about anything regarding me? The answer to that is you can't. So this is the Freedom of Information Law. And the law is a joke to bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler and James P. Mully Jr. because they have received from me on December 16th, December 17th, December 18th of the year 2020, this right here. And they refused. And I'm going to send this to them again today, and they'll refuse again today, just like they received it 2 days ago. They ain't charged the sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr., James P. Mully Jr., Paula Metzler. The reason why Paula Metzler and James P. Mully Jr. refused to comply with the law here for the name of the defendant, the charge, and the ruling in Penfield Town Court is that everybody's guilty. Isn't that right, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler? How do you explain to the United States Department of Justice that everybody's guilty? Click reply and tell me when someone's been acquitted. When is an individual, a resident of Penfield, New York, walked in to your star chamber, appeared in front of you, James P. Mully Jr., John P. Lomenzo Jr., and been acquitted? That person doesn't exist. Am I correct? That's a guess. Based on my experience about how you sit up there with that fucking deer-in-the-headlights look on your face, that pathetic fucking deer-in-the-headlights disposition, no one's acquitted. Ever. Because you refused to comply with these 3 Freedom of Information Law documents that you received on December 16th, 17th, 18th. And I'm switching emails so you can't block me on Gmail. I'm using multiple email accounts to reach you, using YouTube as a valid means of communication. This is a new email that you can't block, I hope. Send me a list of defendants in Penfield Town Court, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler and James P. Mully Jr. Everybody's guilty. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice? And I will repeat myself throughout this YouTube on various points that I believe need to be repeated because it has to be pounded into corruption, and corruption exists at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of party switching Todd Baxter and the Monroe County District Attorney's Office of party switching Sandra Doorley. I have absolute contempt for party switching. I do. There's no really, truly valid reason to switch parties. You're a Republican. It's a set of ideologies and beliefs. You're a Democrat, a set of ideologies and beliefs. And you should adhere to those ideologies and beliefs. It is the rare person that has a complete and total shift in how they think about politics and ideas and switches party. And that happens. That's probably less than 1% of the population. You two switch parties because you're running for office. It had nothing to do with the ideologies and the beliefs of the Republican or Democratic Party at all. Because you wanted that battle line. And you're sitting around and wherever you worked before you became sheriff or district attorney or in your home, and you're conniving and calculating because you want that battle line. So you just switch parties. Isn't that right, Todd Baxter? When you were the sheriff of Greece, you were Republican and now you're Democrat. Is that correct? I believe it. That you were Republican and now you're Democrat, or you're Democrat and now you're Republican. I believe you were a Democrat now and used to be a Republican. And if I have that wrong, you used to be a Republican. Excuse me, if I have that wrong, you were Democrat and now you're Republican. Party switching, bald-headed fraud, Todd Baxter. Party switching, Sandra Doorley. Oh, Sandra, do you have to go on television and talk about the murder of Craig Rideout? What the hell are you doing on that Dateline NBC show called Secrets Uncovered, talking about the murder of Craig Rideout by Law Rideout, Craig Tucci? This is a monstrous, barbaric act that happened less than 10 minutes from where I lived in Penfield. And when I would go to Gold's Gym in Fairport, I would walk by Wegmans, and I would see your whack jobs tied in two vehicles right alongside this private business owned by Danny and Colleen Wegman. I'd walk by Target, and then I would walk by on 9 Mile Point, the housing development, where Craig Rideout was murdered by Law Rideout, Craig Tucci, and I'd go to Gold's Gym in Fairport. And I would occasionally think about him. And there you are on one of these repulsive shows in the celebration of murder, talking about the murder of Craig Rideout. He was murdered right there in the basement of his townhome. What the hell are you doing on that show? You pathetic diva. You had to get ready for that show. You had to prepare for it. You were sat in your office with your employees getting ready for Dateline Secrets Uncovered when you have cases in Monroe County to preside over. Real criminals, by the way, not an innocent human being like me. What the hell are you doing on that show? How did you arrive at the decision to be on that show? When the producer called you, why don't you just immediately say no? I'm the district attorney of Monroe County. I'm going to do that job. And there you are with that perverted look on your face. You look like you were having a good time there talking about the murder of Craig Rideout. I'd like to know what the family and friends and the people that loved Craig Rideout and respected Craig Rideout and worked with Craig Rideout thought about you sitting there with that bankrupt disposition talking about his murder. So when one of these shows again calls you, either the murder of Craig Rideout or another murder anywhere in Monroe County, I'm going to tell you how to do your job, sweetheart. Say no. I'm going to get to this. Freedom of Information Law document here dated December 28, 2020. Just so you know, you're going to receive it also on December 30th and January 1st. What I'm going to read today, you're going to receive on December 30th and January 1st. And you already received it on December 26th. You already received it on December 21st. You already received it on December 19th. And the same document you already received on December 17th, December 2nd, November 21st, November 19th, November 17th, November 15th, December 6th again, November 30th, November 28th, November 23rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, if I have that count right. If I don't, it's approximately 14 times. And you refuse every time. The law's a joke to you. When I say the law's a joke to you, I believe in the precision of language. The law's a joke to you, and you're going to refuse every time. One of these, you're going to be coming to my house. We need to arrest that guy. We need to get him in handcuffs, march him into Penfield Town Court before bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzer, have him declared guilty by bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzer without a prosecutor talking or without a prosecutor being there, and then he's going to be in jail and it won't even be in Monroe County. It's exactly what you fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths are thinking at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office and Monroe County District Attorney's Office. The law's a joke to you. I will never walk into Penfield Town Court, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzer. I don't care what you send it to 26 Sanders Farm Drive. It does not matter. I'm not coming to Penfield Town Court because you as one person are trying to send me to jail. It's an abomination. You have done to me. You continue to do to me. me. It's an outrage. It's a disgrace. I am a free man. I have never committed a crime. And here you are without a jury, without a prosecutor calculating how to send me to jail. This is a disgusting, vile, sickening descent on my life, character, integrity. And I'm going to tell the office of Governor Andrew Cuomo. I'm going to tell the United States Congress. I'm going to tell every single elected official that I can reach about that nauseating star chamber in Penfield Town Court. And fuck you, you bald-headed, wig-wearing criminal. Todd Baxter refused. The sheriff of Monroe County is afraid to open his mouth for me. It was such a joke. Wow. Kathleen Miller, did you write refused on here? June 15, 2019? That's before I received the payroll. The reason why you're doing this to me is because I now have the payroll. One of the copies that Leela wrote didn't take out of the house. That's why you continue to crunch me. Todd Baxter. I lived here in Penfield. It's the parking lot that 36,000 people in Penfield, New York can walk through. 200,000 people in Monroe County can walk through. 17.9 million people in the state of New York can walk through. 280 million people in the United States of America walk through without being arrested, except for me. If I walk through that parking lot all day long, I'll be arrested. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice? How do you explain that, Shannon Meyer? Shannon Meyer ran into my backyard and fell down on her face. Tell me how this is criminal contempt here, Todd the fascist stooge. I walk outside one day. Here's the guy in his tractor. I stay right here and say nobody else. I walk in my house, back in my residence. How's that a crime? I'll wait. I'll wait forever, you bald-headed criminal. How is that a crime? Tell me how that's a crime. I was in jail for that. I walked outside, stood right here. The guy in his tractor gets off his tractor, walks away from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. Because Shannon Meyer met with him, Steve Desmond, you use this civilian. I've been in contact with him, and there's nothing from him. When I said to him, you called the fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths from Monroe County Sheriff's Office, there's nothing from him. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice, Todd Baxter, that you concocted this crime for me? I have never committed a crime, you bald-headed sociopath. How is that a crime? Go to 2041 Penfield Road and ask Labor Kumar Shah how anybody owns that land. That's it. My neighbor next to me, my neighbor across the street from me, has said to me, what the hell are they doing here? They were never here. How does anybody own that land? Layla Kumar, Nayraj Shah, and Shannon Meyer on your $67,000 a year salary, which I'm in the process of trying to reduce by $67,000. Just like I'm in the process of trying to reduce the salary of $79,000 Andrew Reale, who charges me and concocts harassment second for me when I'm not harassing anyone. PW Fitness was a business across from Weber's at 2157 Penfield Road. I'd walk over there because it was close. So I've said this before, and when I do these YouTubes and I'm demanding information, I don't know who views it. If somebody sees it for the first time, I'll repeat myself. And I will repeat myself to hammer it into the brains of corruption. So I would go into PW Fitness. And I have my key card. I slide my key card and I look up and I think, where is he? Jessica Wagner. When I would go in to this gym and use my key card and look up and think, where is he? Who do you think I'm looking for? Are you still employed at the district attorney's office, Jessica Wagner? Because on the salaries here that are alphabetical, which is not the case with the sheriff's office, you are not on here. A. Suzanne Wicker, Mary Wilmot, Ian Winter. That's the W's. Because you're the defense attorney for Jermaine Benman. And you're employed by District Attorney Sandra Doorley. So I use my key card. I walk in. Where is he? I'm looking for Jermaine Benman. And I avoid him. Jermaine Benman screams when he uses the weights. He tells people to get off the machine when he wants to use it. This guy is the nightmare at the gym that everyone that goes to the gym has seen. So, I'm at the back. I'm on the bench press. Jermaine Benman walks up to me. Jessica Wagner, pay attention. Sandra Doorley's employees at the district attorney's office, pay attention. Jermaine Benman goes like this. I say, I'll be 30 seconds. He stands over me. He punches down. My head snaps back violently. He begins to walk away. I had to decide right away not to respond with violence of my own. I have never believed in violence in my life, and I should have attacked him and taken him to the ground. And I didn't. And that presents the opportunity for Andrew Reale, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, to come to PW Fitness and concoct harassment second for me. Sheriff Todd Baxter, District Attorney Sandra Doorley, based on what I just told you, employees at the District Attorney's Office, employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, who am I harassing? I'll wait forever. A witness calls the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. And when Andrew Reale shows up, he's been to my residence because of his parking lot. And Andrew Reale, Todd Baxter's $79,000 a year employee, decides he's going to concoct a crime for me. Here's this Chris Chichester. I've been to his residence in Penfield. Here he is again. This is what he's thinking. He's calculating how to concoct the crime for me. Your employee, Todd Baxter, and I'm going to be in jail from what I'm about to tell you. I will be delivered to jail from what I'm about to say. Andrew Reale tells me to wait in the back seat of his Monroe County Sheriff's Office vehicle, and I do. I'm looking out the front of the window as Andrew Reale talks to Jermaine Behrman, because Andrew Reale is telling Jermaine Behrman exactly what to say to me. He walks around to the side of the vehicle. I look left like this, just like this. I'm looking up at Jermaine Behrman, sitting in the back seat of your vehicle, Todd. And Jermaine Behrman says to me, I want to press charges against you. Those 7 words, I'm charged with harassment second. Harassment second. What's the name of the human being I'm harassing? Party-switching, bald-headed Sheriff of Monroe County, Todd Baxter. I'm supposed to go into Penfield Town Court with these latest concoctions and be declared guilty? I will never walk in there. Do you understand what I just said, Paula Metzler? I will never walk into Penfield Town Court. I'll have to be in there like I was the last time, where I'm attacked and assaulted outside of Wegmans and forcibly taken in there and declared guilty by you and delivered to Livingston County Jail. So, who am I harassing, Todd Baxter? When you tell me the name of the individual I'm harassing, I may consider going into Penfield Town Court as an innocent man to be declared guilty by bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler. And when you tell me how it's a crime to walk outside, say nobody owns that land, and walk back in my house, I may consider going in to Penfield Town Court to be declared guilty by bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzler. Sandra Doorley, Perry Duckles. Why isn't there a jury in Penfield Town Court? What happens if your friends or family members or people you like or you love or respect have to appear in this court, this star chamber, this nauseating little room, and they're going to be declared guilty? And when I say they're going to be declared guilty, because they're refusing to give a list of defendants to me, provide a list of defendants to me. Because on that list, it's going to have the name, the charge, and it's going to say guilty. Every single person is going to be guilty. I'm supposed to go into Penfield Town Court, be declared guilty by Paula Metzler, and Paula Metzler has total contempt for the law. Fuck you, you wig-wearing, bald-headed hack. I will never come in there voluntarily. I'm going to say this again. I will have to be attacked and assaulted again and dragged in there. You're going to receive that again today, and you're going to refuse. Todd Baxter. What's the name of the human being I'm harassing? How's it a crime to walk outside, stand on the center for arm, drive, and tell a guy in his tractor nobody owns that land? Your employee, Shannon Meyer, met with the civilian Steve Desert. How often do you use a civilian to deliver 6 of your employees to the home of an innocent American? 6 of you a year. How come Shannon Meyer can't stay on her 2 feet? I've been demanding from you, due to Freedom of Information Law, your physical training standards. When I say she fell down on her face, I'm not trying to be humorous. I'm not using that as a metaphor. You hear people fall down on the job, which one of my bosses used to say that all the time. He's falling down on the job when I was in the 101st, and I would laugh because it was funny the way he would say it. I'm trying not to laugh. Sometimes levity helps, but your employee, Shannon Meyer, does fall down on the job. Your employee, Shannon Meyer, fell down right in my backyard dirt, right? She's laying there right in my backyard dirt. Todd Baxter. What's the name of the human being I'm harassing? Michael Radler, Kathleen Miller, William Tadeo, Scott Alberti. Click reply and tell me who I'm harassing. William Tadeo. $101,000. Am I right about that, William? I'm going to put your name on YouTube. Because what I'm working on is a list of everybody that's paid $100,000 or more at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office. I believe it's 14 at the district attorney's office, and I have to look at the payroll of the sheriff's office to know, but I believe it's over 50. What the hell do you do, William, for $101,000? All you are is a cop. Do you know you're a cop? The arrogance of you at the sheriff's office. We work for a sheriff's office. You're just a pathetic cop. That's all you are. $101,000, William. What do you do? Are you in a vehicle? Do you investigate cases? Or are you just a desk jockey like Michael Radler, who makes $0? So we have Michael Radler, $0, and William Tadeo at $101,000. It's such a joke at the sheriff's office, a collection of criminals. So, I'm going to show this to the Department of Justice. Kathleen Miller, Michael Radler, William Tadeo, Scott Alberti, right refusing this. This went to 130 Plymouth Avenue South, refused right there. Who wrote refuse on this? The sheriff of Monroe County. Party switching, bald-headed Todd Baxter was afraid to open his mail for me. Such a joke. Leah LaRoque with your search warrant, honey. Now, Leah, I'm going to get to the search warrant, but given the physical training standards, because there are none, so I'm demanding the physical training standards in the Army. There's the PT test, it's the 2-mile run, the push-ups, and sit-ups. You have to be in shape in the military, you're flagged. If you do not do the 2-mile run, the push-ups, sit-ups, in the acquired number of push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run in a certain amount of time, you're flagged. And what flag means is you're effectively not a soldier. All you do is wear the uniform and go to work. You can't get promoted. You can't get an award and being recognized by your peers. And that's always terrific in the military when it happens. You veterans understand that. You can't travel. You can't go to an advanced school like Ranger School. You can't do anything. You are effectively not a soldier. So the colonel would tell me, flag this guy. And when I would flag someone, that's it. They're just going to work and going back to the barracks or home. And one of the ways I would flag someone is if they failed the PT test. If they were overweight. In all likelihood, they failed the PT test because they were overweight. So, Leah, I saw a picture of you outside the public safety building, and you were in the vicinity of 40 pounds overweight. So, Leah, at your Mickey Mouse operations there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, stop eating these Twinkies, honey. All right? I'm going to send you a box of these to your home address in the Sheriff's Office. All right? Because I want to encourage you to keep eating these. All right, sweetheart? You need to keep eating these Twinkies. Add another 5 pounds. Get it up to 45 pounds. Add another 10 pounds. Get it up to 50 pounds. Okay, honey? You heard that from me. I will always love you. Keep eating those Twinkies, honey. So Todd the fascist stooge, when this guy from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care comes by here, what do you think he's wearing on his head? What do you think he's wearing on his head, Todd the fascist stooge? The guy who's here at 7 o'clock in the morning, my neighbor, my excellent friend next to me will confirm this, as well as my other neighbors, from Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care. Can you guess what he's wearing on his head at 7 o'clock in the morning? They haven't been here for 7 years, and suddenly they're here on land that has no ownership. Here he is. How does that land have any ownership? Timothy Murphy, the Monroe County Officer of Property, can't confirm that Layla Kumar and Nayraj Shah, these parasites, 50-plus-year-old man, living with his mommy, own anything. You concocted this crime for me. Shannon Meyer, $67,000 a year hack and criminal, met with Steve Desmond of Broccolo Tree and Lawn Care, and I've been in contact with them. I don't hear anything. Registered mail return receipt, too. And email. Registered mail return receipt. So what I'm saying here, I already told them. Steve Desmond, and I wrote to him, not one word. You're empowering a civilian to come to my residence to concoct criminal attempt for me. How does anybody own that land? I'm going to continue to be in contact with Layla Kumar and Nayraj Shah because I'm going to be contacting the United States Department of Justice, the Office of Manager Cuomo, and just by contacting them, what you're doing to me now, you're concocting new crimes for me. These people are going to you about me walking through this parking lot, and I defend myself, and I sent them an email link, and that's a crime where Paula Metz was trying to send me to jail. Paula Metzler, you bald-headed, wig-wearing fucking hack, you're trying to send me to jail because I sent an email to Layla Kumar and Nayraj Shah. You had me sign an order of protection and handcuffs. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice? There's no force of law for me signing an order of protection and handcuffs because I know I'm not coming out of those handcuffs because I would have refused. So you continue to concoct crimes for me, Paul Metzer. Understand what I just said there? Your Mickey Mouse operations are at the Sheriff's Office, District Attorney's Office, Nauseating Star Chamber, the Penfield Town Court. I mean, look at one of these six-figure salaries here. So we have Sandra Doorley, $203,089. Is that a statue, honey? $203,089. Did you? I don't know. Tell me. How is it $203,089? It's such a joke. Did you decide on that on your own? Are you sitting there like a banana republic dictator in Argentina and you're thinking, I'm the district attorney of Monroe County. I'm going to pay myself $203,089. I'd like to ask Elizabeth Buckley, no relation to William F., about her $115,302 salary. Elizabeth, When you walked in to your little office there, it's the size of a Dairy Queen at 47 South Fifth Street in Rochester, did you have this brutal negotiation with the $203,089 District Attorney Sandra Doorley? And did you, Elizabeth, say you wanted $115,302? Was that your final offer and negotiations? I mean, did you really have to hold out for that 302, that final dollar to bring you up to 115,302? How do you arrive at these numbers? For example, here we have the illustrious Michael Harrigan. Michael, you were paid $108,338. How did you arrive at that? Did you go in there, Michael, and say, do you know who I am? I'm Michael Harrigan, and I want $108,388. That's my final offer. So, Michael, tell me, baby, you paid that. And then we have Mark Monahan. You, Mark, are paid $123,817. How do you explain that? When I contacted New York State Controller about these six-figure salaries, what do you, Mark, do for $123,817? Do you stand in Penfield Town Court and not talk? This bald-headed wig-wearing Paula Metzer is apparently sending me documents to my house compelling me to go into Penfield Town Court. That's like me volunteering to go to jail. So, Mark, tell me, does a prosecutor talk in court? You're paid $123,817, Mark. So tell me, harness all the power of your Juris Doctor and tell me if a prosecutor talks in court and if an innocent man should go back into a court where he's delivered to jail twice, where a prosecutor hasn't talked twice, because that's insanity. So, and let me see. Oh, yeah, we have, I just had to flip the page to get two more $100,000 employees there at your little Dairy Queen. We have Matthew Schwartz, $117,798. Matthew, what do you do for $117,798? Are you in charge of jaywalking there at the district attorney's office? I mean, are you in charge of the shoplifting at the Wegmans Food Market's headquarters with Sheriff Todd Baxter? He always has two of his vehicles alongside the building where they're doing nothing. Is that what you're doing there, Matthew? $117,798. That's the fleecing of the taxpayers. And then we have the lovely Sarah Van Strydank. I hope I pronounced that right. Paid $113,465. What do you, Sarah, do for $113,465? I mean, was that you that stood in Penfield Town Court twice and didn't talk? Huh? I mean, are you in charge of purse snatchers there at the district attorney's office? That's what I'd like to know. I mean, what do you do for $113,465? Are you in charge of the Russia collusion investigation? You know, for that? For Donald Trump? It's such a joke there at the district attorney's office. So, and here we have H.R. Haldeman, Perry Duckles, $129,525. Perry, click reply as you're the number 2. I believe you're the number 2. And tell me the name of your prosecutor. I'm going to get those Freedom of Information Law documents. Tell me the name of the prosecutor who doesn't talk first before John P. Lomenzo Jr. and next before Paula Metzer. Do you understand me, H.R. Haldeman? Pardon me, Perry Duckles. So, such a joke there at the district attorney's office, sheriff's office. So, Jansen D. McNair is an award winner. You're conferring your fake awards, $104,938. Jansen, I went to the Facebook page. There you are with your fake award. What did you do to be conferred an award by Sheriff Todd Baxter? What did you do? I mean, was there a guy going 72 and a 55, and he was going 17 miles an hour over, and Todd Baxter looked at you for nailing this guy for going 17 miles an hour over the speed limit on Penfield Road? Did you write the most speeding tickets, Jansen, in Monroe County? Is that why you, $104,938 Jansen McNair, had an award conferred upon him by bald-headed party-switching Sheriff of Monroe County, Todd Baxter? So you're such a joke there at the district attorney's office, the sheriff's office. Leah LaRoe, proof by affidavit, click reply, send it to me. Where's this proof by affidavit? Paula Metzer, click reply, send it to me. James P. Mully Jr., who has more hair than bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. Tell bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler to send me this proof by affidavit. Leah LaRoque, lose 40 pounds. Stop eating those Twinkies. Send me this proof by affidavit that gets you into the residence at 26 Sanders Farm Drive. Where is it? What's life going to be like for you, Leah LaRoque, at your Mickey Mouse Sheriff's Office if this affidavit either doesn't exist or any attorney that looks at it will conclude that it does not have the force of law and it's laughable? You went crazy in this residence. What are you doing in my father's dresser? And you exited with my Chromebook. Mail my Chromebook back to me, you criminal Leah LaRoque, immediately. I have your blue gloves in here. You're such an incompetent, you're even leaving your gloves behind. This is the evidence that you're in here, and that's the word. Todd, I mean, really, put down your arm. Because I don't get what this action is here with you. I just don't understand this. Can you tell me why you're extending your arm out like this? Because I'm in total confusion as to what this is. All right? So, and Todd, how's your sex life? How's that going? Are you Mr. Excitement in the bedroom? Because I'm going to show you how you get excited, Todd. We have the most famous prison in the United States of America right here in New York. Perhaps you've heard of Attica Correctional Facility. It's not a jail, but it's a prison. Really the same thing. You have innocent people in jail and prison, and I'm an innocent American that was in your jail. So, jail, prison, same thing. Criminals are in them. Real criminals. So, Todd, Monroe County Sheriff, I have a passion for jails. Now, Todd, passion. Are you familiar with passion and what people do when they have passionate thoughts? When people are passionate in private, what do? You're so passionate about a jail, Todd. I have a passion for jails. So, Todd, here you are with your bald head right here. Since you have a passion for jails, when people are passionate about things, what do you think they like to do? Huh? Can you guess when people are passionate what they like to do? Because you, Todd, since you have a passion for jails, I'm going to introduce you to Sing Sing Correctional Facility, Clinton Correctional Facility. Here's Clinton Correctional Facility right there. All right. Here's Sing Sing right there. You follow me, Todd? Huh? And here's the most famous prison in America, Attica. So, Todd, this is missionary position. You need to have sex with those three prisons, all right? And since you're a real freak show, you can try this. I mean, I don't know what the hell that is. I mean, what the hell is that? So that's you, Todd, with the jails, all right? Now, Todd, when I read the salaries, part of switching bald-headed criminal, I'm demanding the salary for, he's on the list here. You need to tell me salary for Patrick Bateman, all right? There he is right here with his nail gun, all right? Now, I'm demanding to know the salary. Did you give a raise to Patrick Bateman? And what I'm demanding from you is the cost to taxpayers in the state of New York when your employees work that 41st hour. How do you do time and a half and overtime? And that includes American Psycho, Patrick Bateman, and you, Todd, the fashion stooge, can recognize an American Psycho because you're an American Psycho putting a camera on a building next to my residence here in Penfield to concoct the crime for me and lying about it. Call the surveillance device. And when I was calling the surveillance device, your sick hacks like Michael Radner and Kathleen Miller and William Today and Scott Alberti calling Lindsay Barrett from the Monroe County Office of Mental Health to come to my residence. I finished my run one day. She comes walking across my front lawn. I don't want any part of her at that moment. I continue to run. She gets in the Monroe County Sheriff Office vehicle. I'm running along Willow Pond Way to Wegmans, and she's yelling at me out the car. I just want to talk to you, Chris, over and over. Because I used the phrase surveillance device. And now that I've seen the images, you bought one and you lied about it. And I have not received the first image I've seen. When I walked out here, said nobody owns that land, and walked back in my residence. Because your employee had the video image of me on his phone taken from the surveillance device you affixed to 2025 Penfield Road. This should never happen in the United States of America. This is what I'm going to tell the United States Department of Justice. You bought that camera, and you employees of the sheriff's office and district attorney's office, you could walk through this parking lot right by this repulsive shack, the Shaw Law Firm, and you won't be arrested. Your friends and family members at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, you can walk through this parking lot and won't be arrested. Where's my 14th Amendment right to equal protection of laws? If I leave my residence, it's 2:40 p.m., and at 5 o'clock, if I walk through here and these two psychopaths, 50-year-old Nayraj Shah living with his mommy, see me, you'll descend on me and arrest me. I'm the only person to be arrested for walking through this parking lot. So when I use phrases, and as I say, I believe in the precision of language, to say that it's the lunatic fringe, that I'm the only American to be walking through this parking lot, that's why it's the lunatic fringe. And you're the lunatic fringe there at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office, Todd Baxter, and you're the lunatic fringe there at the District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doorley. Sandra, I mean, doing really quite something here, in your nightgown. What do you think of that photograph of you, honey, huh? Because I have one of your favorite books here. This is a book that's should be read by everyone at the district attorney's office. Women Who Love Psychopaths. Because you have to be a psychopath if you're in a district attorney's office anywhere in the United States of America, and you're a prosecutor, and you don't talk to an innocent man, goes to jail. So Sandra, what's the name of your prosecutors? This 5'2", three-piece suit boy who doesn't talk before Paula Metzler, and next this female assistant district attorney who doesn't talk before John P. Metzler Jr. Click reply and tell me the names. Perry Duckles. Now, when I get the salaries here, send me a list. This coffee stain document, that's not my coffee, delivers me to jail. Fire Shannon Meyer, Todd Baxter, now immediately. Suspend her, give her a hearing, and fire. Fire her immediately. Because it is right here. This piece of paper delivers me to Monroe County Jail. It should never happen in the United States of America where I'm a defendant on a piece of paper. I'm walking through the parking lot for the 4,000th time, just like my excellent friend, just like Penfield High School student, just like the elderly woman who lives across the street from me, wear your two hats, walked onto her private property, cocked felony assault for me on my back porch. Yeah, you heard that right. What are their names? I've said that previously to you, you refuse. So, how am I defending on a piece of paper? How does that happen, Perry Duckles? Why is Shannon Meyer still employed? That the defendant on the above date and location and importantly 1440 hours did knowingly enter or remain unlawfully in upon the premises. Knowingly and remain unlawfully. Everything in life is knowingly. How did I remain unlawfully when I'm walking? How am I remaining when I'm walking? Premises of 2041 Penfield Road, Penfield. I walked through the parking lot after being told through certified mail and by police that he's not on property. I didn't receive anything by certified mail. There's nothing with my signature. If it's certified mail, you sign for it. Am I correct? When I send certified mail, I'm demanding signatures, and I have a stack of registered mail return receipt from your office, Todd Baxter, where your employees are signing from me. Certified mail, I received nothing from certified mail. It's lie after lie after lie from you because you're a collection of liars at the sheriff's office. And by police that he's not allowed on property. By police. How come there is not a name? How do you allow this hack to work at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office? This delivers me to jail, where I'm defending on a piece of paper, where I'm being told by certified mail when I didn't receive any certified mail, where it says I'm informed by certified mail when I receive any certified mail, pardon me, where it says by police. There's not even a name on here. Where's my 14th Amendment right when I'm the only American to be arrested for walking through the parking lot? Here's two of my neighbors right there. Shannon Meyer. How come they're not arrested? Did you go to their house or fall down in their backyard? Right there every day today. I usually wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and people start walking through that parking lot immediately. What's it going about their business? At Target, at Wegmans? Whatever they're doing. All those businesses along Penfield Road, if you live in Penfield, employees of the district attorney's and sheriff's office, and you know about all those businesses on Penfield Road and everything you can do right when you wake up early in the morning, and people walk through that park lot early in the morning because I see them. How do you explain to the United States Department of Justice that I'm the only American to be arrested for walking through that parking lot, Todd Baxter? How do you explain to the United States Department of Justice how you concocted criminal contempt for me? Do you own a dog, Michael Rather? Do you own a dog, Kathleen Miller? Do you own a dog, William Tadeo? Do you own a dog, Scott Alberti? Do you own a dog, Mark Monahan? Do you own a dog, Perry Duckles? If you own a dog, then you know what tens of millions of dog owners know, that you love your dog. Because your dog brings joy to your life. We had a golden retriever in my family. It was joy for 12 years. And I watched my brother-in-law's dog for 6 months when he was having his house built. So I have a third dog. And the reason why I mentioned my 2 previous dogs is that I've loved my 2 previous dogs. Just like if you have dogs at the attorney's office. So I'm going to talk about you, Todd Baxter. I'm not going to tell my dog stories because you showed up at my residence to man my dog when all I'm doing is walking my dog the same way for 7 years and 4,000 times. When I lived in Webster with my ex-girlfriend, Laura Riley, we decided to go to Lollipop Farm Humane Society because they are saints at Lollipop in the work that they do in placing dogs that nobody wants. There's not a single human being that wants these dogs that are at Lollipop. And when you go to Lollipop, you are interviewed because you have to establish your own character in order to be approved to adopt. And in this interview, Laura Riley and I are asked, do you have a criminal record? Have you ever been arrested? And Laura Riley and I both replied no. And I'm confident that if either one of us replied yes, our application to adopt a dog would have been rejected. And it should be. I would like to adopt another dog because my little guy died on July 21st. And I believe if I went to Lollipop again and they did a background check, they're going to find this nauseating, sickening, vile descent on my life with this concoction of crimes, this barbaric descent on my life by you, Todd Baxter, and you, Sandra Doorley, and I will not be able to adopt a dog. This is what you're doing to me. It should never happen to anyone in the United States of America what you have done to me. So, Laura and I went to the cages, and there he was. He was sitting there, and we looked down, and Laura said to me, he's looking right at you. He was really looking at both of us, but that's what she said. And we adopted him, we signed the paperwork, and brought him home. So, his name was Alex, and I worked on Capitol Hill's United States Senate staff. I worked with Alex Heck, and no dog reminds me I named Alex Heck after Alex Heck, or remind me of Alex Heck, the attorney who can never shut up. I'm sure you have attorneys like that at the district attorney's office when you ask a simple question, and all of a sudden you get the entire summary of Dred Scott. So anyway, I'm telling you this, Todd Baxter, because you showed up to my residence to demand my little guy when all I'm doing is walking in the same way for 7 years and 4,000 times. You fanatics, degenerates, and sociopaths do not understand that people love their dogs. And when I use language like fanatic, degenerate, sociopath, this is why. So, we adopted him. No criminal record. And I changed his name from Alex to Boom Boom. And he's named after former WBA lightweight champion Ray Mancini because he's a champion. Almost went the distance without Alexis Arguello. So, employees, the Monroe County District Attorney's and Sheriff's Office, I'm going to tell you about fanaticism. Walking my dog the same way. The window from the Shaw Law Firm at 2041 Penfield Road flies open. And this woman is screaming at me, losing her mind. That's what they do over there. These parasites, these psychopaths you've unleashed upon me, screaming at me. I don't know what it is. I bring my little guy in and put him on a dog bed. My mom and dad got me. I walk through that park. I go in and they refuse to talk to me. I come back and it's pounding on my door, ringing the doorbell. Do you tell your employees, Todd Baxter, to pound their doors and ring doorbells and act in this appalling way? Why can't you just ring the doorbell and knock like a normal person? Because your cops are not normal. 4,000 times and here you are. Demanding my little guy. You do not know, Todd Baxter, that people love their dogs. And I open the door, and there they are, the animal control individual with Paul in his hand and a new sign demanding my dog. This is a vicious confrontation. I slam the door in their faces. I walked over to his dog bed. I picked him up and he was shaking. I said, nobody's ever going to take you from me. This is what you're doing to me. Were you like Sandra Doorley? I looked at you alongside. I was riding my bike down Penfield Road when you were up for re-election. I should have been active, doing everything possible that I'm doing now. And I wasn't for a number of reasons, but I am now. Were you like Sandra Doorley? I got off my bike, I took my phone out of my backpack, and when I took your picture, as I started to click the button and take it, I started to get nauseous. I put the phone back in my backpack, and I rode down the rest of the way on the sidewalk on Penfield Road, and I was nauseous for about 30 seconds. After I took this picture of you, Sandra Doorley, where your prosecutor doesn't talk in court, and I'm delivered first to Monroe County Jail as an innocent man, and second to Livingston County Jail as an innocent man. What am I doing in Livingston County, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Messer? How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice? So, you now comply with everything. Freedom of Information Law. Paula Metzler, name, charge, and sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr., James P. Mully Jr., and Paula Metzler. Do you understand that Junior Mully, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler, on December 28th? Do you understand that at your Mickey Mouse little courtroom inside a library? Name, charge, and sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr., James P. Mully Jr., and Paula Metzler, December 28th. And everybody's guilty. There's not a single person that you're going to acquit. I'm going to send this to you every day leading up to January 1st, and you're going to refuse. The law's a joke to you. Freedom of Information Law. My name is Christopher Chichester, Sandra Doorley, Todd, Baxter. I have never committed a crime. The internal disciplinary records or documentation of employees at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of Sheriff Todd K. Baxter. That Sheriff Todd K. Baxter has reprimanded or terminated or disciplined during employment at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. How does that happen? In the military, there's the Article 15 in the Uniform Code of Military Justice that punishes soldiers in that violate the code. In the military, there's the courts martial, where your rank is reduced when you're adjudicated guilty. Your pay is taken from you. And I sat in on courts martial. I did the paper for an Article 15. I did it whenever the colonel told me to do an Article 15 for someone. I did this over and over and over. So I've seen this disciplinary process up close when I was in the 101st Airborne Division. How do you do that at the sheriff's office? What's the disciplinary process? For example, when your employees allow Leah Burden to escape from their custody at Strong, a 19-year-old, 8 months pregnant woman, what did you do with your employees? What about Andrew Allen concocting harassment second for me when I'm not harassing anyone? What about Shannon Meyer falling down in my backyard dirt? What about your employees walking onto the private property of my neighbor and hibernating near her window, waiting for me to come outside my residence at midnight? How do you answer these questions? Your employees behave like animals, and you're an animal, Todd Baxter. The internal disciplinary record of documentation for employees of the Monroe County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Sandra Doorley. That District Attorney Sandra Doorley is disciplined, reprimanded, terminated from employment at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office. Perry Duckles. Should an assistant district attorney at the Monroe County District Attorney's Office be terminated from employment that doesn't talk in court and is innocent man is delivered to jail, first in Monroe County Jail and next in Livingston County Jail? Does a prosecutor talk in court, Perry? How'd you answer that question? Do you appear in court, Perry? And if you appear in court, do you talk? Suspending operations at Penfield Town Court immediately. Tax dollars fund your entire nauseating, impulsive existence. The sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, send me the latest payroll because I want to compare it to the payroll I already have here that Leila Rowe didn't take out of the residence. I want to see how raises were provided to your employees. And then I'm going to go on YouTube and talk about the raises if I receive it, and I won't. You refuse to send me any payroll, despite the fact your entire criminal existence at the sheriff's office and district attorney's office is tax dollars. Do you understand what a joke you are at the district attorney's office? I have the law in my hand and demanding you comply with the law. And you're refusing? I'm supposed to voluntarily go into Penfield Town Court and be declared guilty before this bald-headed, wig-wearing fanatic, Paula Metzler? When is a jury in Penfield Town Court, bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler? Then I'll go into Penfield Town Court because the jury doesn't send me anywhere. You understand me? When I say the jury doesn't send me anywhere, it doesn't send me to jail. I go home. Everybody's guilty in Penfield Town Court. Isn't that right? You bald-headed, wig-wearing extremist. The names and salaries of every public employee at the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office of Sheriff Todd Baxter. Are you under the delusion that you're paid with monopoly money, you party-switching fraud? The names and salaries of every public employee at the Monmouth County District Attorney's Office of District Attorney's Sandra Doorley. Are you under the delusion that you're paid with monopoly money, you party-switching fraud? How do you pay public employees when the 41st hour is worked? When I worked as a public employee in Albany for Governor George Pataki and Senate Majority Leader Rob Perino, there was no overtime. There was compensatory time. You could take that time off, but your salary was your salary. There was nothing. When I worked as a public employee in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill for Congressman Lamar Smith of Texas, Senator Olympia Stone of Maine, there was no overtime. Not a single penny that I ever received beyond the salary that I agreed upon when I was hired. So there is overtime at the sheriff's office because I believe that your employees will drive around in their vehicles for another 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours because they want that money because it's greed of the heart. I believe that happens because your employees are criminals and animals, Todd Baxter, and criminals and animals have greed of the heart, and they will do everything possible to gouge the taxpayer. So how's that done at the sheriff's office? Total cost of overtime time and a half for hour paid beyond base salaries calculated at the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office of Sheriff Todd K. Baxter. So at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office of Sheriff Todd K. Baxter, you have Jansen McNair is paid $104,000. Isn't that right, Jansen? So Jansen McNair was paid $104,000. I'm going to look for your name, Jansen, because you're the one I'm going to talk about. Because you, Jansen, are an award winner. And since you are an award winner, Jansen D. McNair, you fake awards on your Facebook page. So award winner Jansen D. McNair, here you are, Jansen. And I talked to your mother about that name, Jansen. $104,938. Do you, Jansen D. McNair, make $104,938? Is that your final salary? Or are you paid beyond that six-figure salary as a six-figure cop? Huh? Kevin C. Kaiser, $110,868. Edward L. Krenzer, $118,787. John M. DiMartino, $101,843. Matthew J. Van Duzy, $130,433. John R. Kennedy, $110,868. James McGowan, $110,868. Dale Earl, $110,868. Thomas A. Sarkis, $101,843. So Matthew J. Van Duzy is paid $130,433. Matthew J. Van Duzy is paid $140,000. Let me see here, Todd. Todd, your salary is $132,599. I know you told them, math, Todd, the fascist students, but pay attention. $132,599. And here you're paid Matthew J. Van Duzy, $130,433. So you make just $2,000 more than Matthew J. Van Duzy. Your salary is set in statute, correct? You have no control over your salary. Sheriff before you and after you, and I hope the after you is going to be real soon. Once I contact the Office of Governor Andrew Cuomo in the United States, Congress, and the Department of Justice. So, you, Todd, $132,599. You decided to pay Matthew Van Duzy $130,433. I'm going to come to your events. And I'm going to hold up a card that says $130,433 with the name Matthew Van Duzy. How do you explain that? How do you explain to the taxpayers of Monroe County that Matthew J. Van Duzy is paid $130,433, and that's just $2,100 less than you? Nobody elected Matthew J. Van Duzy anything. You decided to pay Matthew J. Van Duzy $130,433. It's the fleecing of the taxpayers. You do whatever you want, Monroe County, and one of the things where you're doing whatever you want, pay your employees whatever you decide to pay your employees. And why aren't those numbers rounded off? That's what I'm trying to say. Why don't you just round it off into an incoherent number? 100,000, 105, 110, 115, 120. Why do you have those bizarre numbers? How do you answer that when I contact the Control of New York? How do you decide on those exact dollar amounts that I read? I handled public employee payroll. I worked for Governor New York Majority Leader. I worked on Capitol Hill for Senator Snow and Congressman Smith. was a coherent salary. From the intern, they were paid interns that are paid $15,000 all the way up to the chief of staff who made $95,000. I didn't work with anybody that made six figures. Ever. I handled payroll. I looked at it. I would know a six-figure salary when I worked at it. It was in a single six-figure salary. So, at the district attorney's office, Amanda Balling, are you paid $108,338? Again, another incoherent number. How did you, Sandra, Doorley, decide on $108,338? Are you, Amanda Balling, paid $108,338 all year long? Or are you paid more money when you work a 41st hour? How's that done? And this is the total contempt of Sandra Doorley as district attorney in Monmouth County. Total cost of overtime, time, and NFL paid beyond base salaries calculated to Monmouth County District Attorney's Office, Sandra Doorley. How is that done? Mark Monahan, how's that done at the district attorney's office? You, Mark Monahan, are paid $123,817. Is that your salary, or are you paid more? Cost of taxpayers of Monmouth County Sheriff Todd Baxter expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits fair to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Kathleen Miller, you being sexually harassed at the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office, or do you know of another woman that's being sexually harassed at the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office? What's the answer? Yes or no? If the answer is no, the answer is no. And you should be believed. The answer is yes. What did you do about it? Nothing? What's the answer, Kathleen Miller? Do you know what sexual harassment is? It's a man asking a woman out on a date over and over and over, and she is under siege at the office. No. It's a man touching a woman at the office all the time. She tells him, don't touch me, and he continues to do this. It's a man sending a woman profane, vile, vulgar emails with these disgusting jokes. It could be anything. Anything that is legitimate, I should say. Anything that's legitimate. And I've seen this go on. When I worked in the press office in the New York State Capitol, I worked on the third floor for Majority Leader, and this is when I first got there. I was just 25 years old, and a woman sat in front of me. A man came in to the office who was an older man. He put his hands on her neck. He gave her a neck rub, and she froze, and I'm looking at this. It was a disgrace what he did. That doesn't rise to the level of repeated sexual harassment when the person is constantly saying, leave me alone, I don't want to go out with you, don't email, don't contact me, I don't want anything to do with you. But a man is placing his hands on a woman at the office. That should never happen. Ever. That's just one example of how you can be harassed. I don't want anybody ever touching me when I'm at the office. I don't care who the hell it is. Keep your hands to yourself. That is harassment. Doesn't rise to the level of a sexual assault, but he is being harassed. Keep your hands to yourself. Isn't that right, Kathleen Miller? Have you experienced that? I won't be surprised at all. Sure, for the employees of the Monmouth County Sheriff's Office behave like animals. The cost of taxpayers of Monmouth County District Attorney Sandra Doorley expended taxpayer dollars to settle employment-related discrimination lawsuits fair to comply with Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. So, is the answer yes or no, Sandra Doorley? What's the answer? Like your little district attorney's office that's the size of a Dairy Queen. Todd Baxter, you need to be employed by the Central Intelligence Agency. The Central Intelligence Agency, led by the great Mike Pompeo, is going to go down in history as one of the greatest Americans of the last 100 years, buys surveillance devices to surveil terrorists. And you bought a surveillance device for me to fix it to that building in 2025 Penfield Road to concoct a crime for me when these parasites, Neeraj or Layla Kumar Shah, are going to your office by me walk through the parking lot, but not anybody else in the United States of America. My name is Christopher Chichester. I have never committed a crime. The cost of a surveillance device purchased with taxpayer dollars by Monmouth County Sheriff Todd Baxter fixed to a building at 2025 Penfield Road to Martin Christopher Chichester at 26 Sanders Farm Drive walks through the parking lot next to the building. Sick lunatic fringe. By a sick lunatic fringe sheriff and a sick lunatic fringe employees. You refuse to send me that original image. It has an assigned number, and I'm not committing any crime. I was in jail for that. Without the prosecutor talking, Sandra Doorley, what's her name? The cost of taxpayers for photography session approved by Monmouth County Sheriff Todd Baxter photographed 10 public employees underwater in a pool. How do you take that picture of your employees underwater in a pool Todd Baxter. And I showed it multiple times. And I'm looking forward. I'm going to try to get through this as soon as possible because I love that picture of your employees underwater in a pool, Todd, the fascist stooge. And I'm having a hard time here. I apologize for the delay. I'm like a UHF channel here with your employees underwater in a pool, but I've showed it numerous times. So, anyway, I can't find it. Why did you take that picture of employees underwater in a pool, Todd Baxter? What's the reason? I'm told it was a training exercise. What are you doing with your Mickey Mouse employees underwater in a pool, Todd the fascist stooge? Did you pay money for the photographer? What's the answer? How come these employees are not out on the roads and doing their jobs, putting screws to innocent Americans? So, here we have Ryan Fisher, Freedom of Information Law, the cost for a hotel and plane ticket for Miami County Sheriff employee Ryan Fisher attended the Super Bowl in Atlanta, Georgia on February 3rd, 2019 with canine dog Lola. I've showed that picture numerous times of your employee who is out of Rochester, out of Monroe County, out of the state of New York. Ryan Fisher, what the hell are you doing in Atlanta, Georgia, nauseating stars and bars? Weight problems of your public employees, Todd Baxter, including you, and you need to lose 20 pounds and tell Leo Roque to lose 40 pounds. What are the physical training standards requirements of Miami County Sheriff's Office, Todd K. Baxter? That's a question, Todd the fascist dudes, and you have none. Michael Radler, $0. What the hell did you do for $0, Michael Radler? Nothing. Day and year, Miami County Sheriff Todd K. Baxter rehired Michael Radler after his 20-year career with the Miami County Sheriff's Office ended. Are you paid any sum of money from any organization with access to Todd Baxter that Todd Baxter is affiliated with? Because why are you going into the office? If in fact you go into the office at 130 South Plymouth Avenue for $0. Why are you on the payroll at $0? How do you explain that to the New York State Controller when I contacted the New York State Controller and urged the New York State Controller to audit the Miami County Sheriff's Office of Todd Baxter and his $0 employee, Michael Radler? Who's at your jail, Todd Baxter? The names and charges of every inmate in Miami County Jail from January 2018 to December 28, 2020. Who is there? It's a public facility. Send me a list of everyone at your jail, the name and the charges. I want to contact these individuals because I was at your jail. I'm writing everything down. I know more about your jail than you do, you bald-headed party-switching fraud. And I have my pad and write it down and walk back to my jail cell as an innocent man. And your employee followed me into the jail, so he goes to grab my pad. I pull it away, takes my arm, jams it up behind my back, takes my pad, and walks away. I'm in pain behind my arm. My shoulders bother me. I go to the nurse. After I was taken to the nurse, I'm sitting there in front of the nurse. The nurse says to me, "Who did this to you?" And then I reply, "The guy standing behind me." Your employees have attacked me and had their hands on me repeatedly, and that's because I'm not allowing you to concoct crimes for me, and that's because I'm defending myself. Your employees are animals, Todd Baxter, and you're an animal. The name of your prosecutor doesn't talk to court before John P. Lomenzo Jr., Sandra Doorley, and you refuse to even tell me your name. It's the corruption in your district attorney's office. I'm supposed to go into the Star Chamber voluntarily? That's insane. Documentation for the case of Christopher Chichester before John P. Lomenzo Jr. and Penton Town Court. What's the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? Not one sound, not one syllable, nothing. What's the name of this 5'2" three-piece suit boy? What's his name? What's this boy's name? Documentation for the case for Christopher Chichester before Paul Lomenzo and Penton Town Court. What is the name of the prosecutor, Sandra Doorley? He leaves the podium, gives this bald-headed, wig-wearing Paul Lomenzo a piece of paper, doesn't say anything, and that delivers me to jail. Twice a prosecutor hasn't talked in court, and twice I've been delivered to jail. How do you explain that to the United States Department of Justice, party-switching Sandra Doorley? How is that possibly explained? And the reason why you're concocting new crimes for me is I'm on YouTube. That's why. So, Todd, you going to be having your fake awards again? Paula Metzler. Pay attention. Again, I'll repeat myself. It has to be drilled and pounded into the heads of corruption. Today in charge of the sentence of every defendant in Penfield Town Court for John P. Lomenzo Jr., James T. Muller Jr., Paula Metzler. December 28th. You're going to receive this on December 29th, December 30th, December 31st. Every day for the rest of December, you're going to receive this. The name, charge, and defendants. Everybody's guilty. Isn't that right? Bald-headed, wig-wearing Paula Metzler. Everybody's guilty. It's not a single person that lost to the Penfield Town Court. And acquitted. Doesn't happen. Now, Jansen McNair, at the award ceremony that you were at, what I want to know, $104,000 Jansen McNair. What was the award that was conferred upon you? Because I saw the photograph of you, Jansen. There you are, $104,000 Jansen McNair. I'm going to guess, since I wasn't there, I did not receive an invitation to your fake award ceremony at your Jonestown. So, what I want to know, Jansen, I have 3 awards here that Sheriff Todd Baxter created, Jansen. Which one of these 3 awards did you receive? Did you, Jansen, did you receive the clasp of the Iron Cross with this big bird here that Sheriff Baxter designed here just for you? All right, because what the hell is this thing here? I don't get that, Jansen. What is that? It goes like this. It goes like this. This total incoherence. I don't get that. So did you receive this order of Schnitzengruben here from Sheriff Baxter, Jansen? I don't know. It's two buddies. Email me. Now, Jansen, did you receive the Grand Cross, the Iron Cross? Did you award somebody? Did you have your paycheck in your pocket for $104,000 being a 6-figure cop? Because, that's a big black medal, Jansen. Todd Baxter has such creativity when he designs these awards, Jansen. And again, what is this here? It goes like this. It goes. Paula Metzler, can you tell me what this is? Because Paula Metzler, I don't get it. I don't get it. What is that? It's total incoherence and confusion in this big black medal from Sheriff Baxter. That's the Grand Cross, the Iron Cross. So he has the word cross in there twice. Todd, you don't have to put cross in there twice. I don't get that. I'm confused. So Jansen, what I'd like to know, at your award ceremony, did you receive the Knight's Cross and the Iron Cross here? Again, that's a gigantic medal. If you did receive this, Jansen, your $104,000 salary, when Todd Baxter put this around your neck, it was so heavy, they had to lean forward a little bit because of the weight of this big, black, gigantic medal here that Todd Baxter, bought for you here. Tell me, Shotzi, is it true what they say about the way you Monroe County Sheriff Office employees are gifted? So, now, Todd, comply with everything. Sandra, comply with everything. I'm most interested in how you will refuse to provide me with a list of salaries for everybody, your nauseating, criminal, corrupt offices. I told these Layla Kumar and Nayraj Shah on May 13, 2019 that nobody owns the land alongside my house. You don't own the land alongside my house because you do not have the required documentation that proves ownership. That doesn't matter to you. If you wanted to concoct a crime for me, and I again told them I have correspondence of everything, and that doesn't matter. I'm going to put all this in PDF when I send it to the Department of Justice and send it to you. You don't own the land alongside my house because you don't have the required documentation. May 14, 2019. So what's happened to me should never happen to an innocent man in the United States of America. Because of you American psychos at the district attorney's and sheriff's office that are drinking this beverage, you repulsive Kool-Aid drinkers concocting crimes for me. I have never committed a crime. I got you jail as an innocent man. Todd Baxter, I walked to the center of the jail. I took out an envelope. 130 Plymouth Avenue South, Rochester, New York. I had this envelope taped above my bed in my bedroom to remind me to be relentless. And I am relentless. And I wrote on this envelope, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger.